And a very good afternoon to everyone as well. Faster Mai, as we say here on the Isle of Man. Welcome to the Balaun, the Colas Balaun course here in the south of the Isle of Man for a busy Saturday. The afternoon is going to be another practice session. We had practice last night, and then we have a little further practice this evening. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. And then we have 3 races. There'll be a break in between, but it's Alan Oversby, Dominic Herbertson, Rod Bellis and Glenn Dawson, Ewan Hamilton, Chris Moore, Jamie Coward and Paul Williams, the riders who are currently on provisional pole position after last night's busy practice session. Well, let me give you that important news. We did have a red flag towards the end of the session yesterday evening, and it was before the 500cc class had even got to complete their sighting lap. So they've got no laps registered at all, and they are involved in one of the 3 races this evening. So there will at 5 o'clock be a technical inspection for the 500cc race 8. 5:55, the 500cc's will leave the holding area and proceed to a dummy grid. If you're not used to how the Southern 100 Club operates, it is like a military operation. Emphasised here, 3 minutes past 6 o'clock, the 500cc race will commence with their practice session, and that will go on until 6:15. The races for this evening will proceed as per schedule with a small delay in the timings. Race 1, that's the 250 and 350 singles, will start at approximately 6:25 p.m. Technical inspection timings, though, have not changed for race 1, 2 and 3 and are as per the schedules. That's important news that for the riders and their crews. Technical inspection timings have not changed for race 1, 2 and 3 and are as per the schedule. Now, the recovery van will not be out this evening, so if you retire on the course in the practice session and are racing in race 2 on the 500, you will not be able to race. Speaking of that first race, which is the singles race for 250 and 350 classes, as 2 races within the one, Keith Shannon retired early in practice yesterday evening. Now, he was looking to win the 250cc race for a 5th time in a row, but I'm afraid, unluckily, that won't now be happening. His beautiful Cotton Telstar bike has a cracked cylinder head and he will not be racing, which is a great shame for Keith Shannon, who we spoke to in the paddock just before coming on air. And that's unfortunately the sad news, that we're not going to have that potential story of 5 wins in a row, and his bike is number 5 as well, in anticipation of doing that historic feat, but unfortunately it's not to be. 2 course inspection cars are on the start line here on the Castletown bypass, with the orange gold flashing lights on the top, the little crease cars, and they will do a lap of inspection, check that everything's in order, and we are then in a position to get underway with the practice session. So that's the news currently from the start line. We'll go through the times from last night as and when we go to those classes throughout the afternoon. We've plenty of time to bring you that. But the conditions are set fair. A little bit of cloud, but it's warm. But it does go quite cool with that northwest wind if the sun goes behind the clouds. So it's going to be a day of layers, I think, if you're watching here at the Colas Balaun circuit, because 1 minute you're going to be in a T-shirt and next you're going to need a fleece on. It's that sort of day that we get here on the Isle of Man. Well, let's head out to Cross Four Ways, and making his debut out there last night in the practice session and on air for 3.5 hours. We throw people and apprentices in very much at the deep end, but my word, he was learnt to swim very quickly indeed. Excellent coverage. Congratulations, Rob Pritchard. Your thoughts ahead of what is going to be a busy Saturday? Isn't it great to have racing back on the Isle of Man? Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, very good afternoon to you, Tim. And yes, absolutely, we've been saying it all of yesterday. Waxing lyrical, I think it's fair to say, just to see these bikes coming round the Balaun course for the first time in the best part of 3 years. Things building up over here rather nicely. We've got plenty of spectators out. The marshals just making their final preparations in and around the corners here. Plenty over there, basking in the sunshine, as it were. I think one of the little foliables I had to get used to yesterday was indeed the dropping temperatures that we saw during the practice session, particularly later on once those sidecars got that brief interlude out on the course as well. So I get the feeling that the big purple fleecy coat that I've got on at the moment could be on and off pretty regularly with the sun dropping in and out of the clouds here. But as it stands right now, absolutely glorious over here at Cross Four Ways. Nice and still, nice little bit of heat in the air from the sun, but not too much here. Just got a few of the fans across the road from us just getting their final refreshments before things get underway. And yes, you mentioned as well that we had some cracking sessions yesterday as well, and it's a shame to see that Keith Shannon won't be taking part in this latest session. Yes, it won't be 5 for number 5 as it is, but looking at some of the performances from yesterday, no doubt I don't think many people have been surprised to see the likes of Jamie Coward, Ewan Hamilton, Mike Hose and Alan Oversby up there in their respective classes there. But elsewhere, further in the field, there were a few that caught the eye as well. The likes of Andy Saylor, number 118, some excellent approaches up here through Cross Four Ways, and down in that 125 class, the newly introduced one as well. Mark Herbertson putting in some good times, along with one of the newcomers as well, Russell Robury, too, to possibly keep an eye on in that particular area. And of course, in the sidecars, they only had that brief outing last night due to the fading light around the course, but Rob Bellis and Glenn Dawson certainly setting down an early marker given the brief time that they had out on the course. But that could change today. Can anyone catch them up at the top in the sidecar class? I guess only time will tell this afternoon, but everything looking absolutely superb right now over here. Tim, back to you for now.
Thanks very much, Rob Pritchard out there at Cross Four Ways. And the other vital cog in the commentary team is, of course, Chris Kinley, who is down at the HQ, the club headquarters, and he's got the holding area and plenty of walking and steps to get in, I'm sure, during the course of today. But Chris, conditions are absolutely perfect, it would seem.
Factor 50 is on the head. It really is. The first thing I did this morning when I got up was that, right, where is the little tube that we have a factor 50 for the head? Because it is one of those days where, even though, like you said and Rob said, it is a bit cool, that breeze is just taking the chill off it, but there's still a fair bit of strength in that sun. We are nearly ready to go with the gate opening here very shortly for the first practice of the Saturday afternoon. If you were down here last night, we hope you enjoyed it. If you just arrived on the island now, like a lot of people have been over the past 24 hours, welcome back to our island, welcome back to the Colas Ballown circuit here at the Blackford Financial Services Pre-TD Classic Races. Singles heading out in a minute or so for their practice session, and it's also, you know what they're like here. What time are we on now? 12:40. So yeah, any moment now the machines will be making their way out. Number 102, Nick Penny on his Jeff Monty special is just about to head out. He's from Ulverston on that machine with the green plates. The 250s on the green plates, or anything below 250s on the green plates, and the 350s are on the blue plates. Looking at the lap records for this, you know, the 250 lap record goes back to Bob Jackson, 1997. 83.42 miles per hour. The 350 lap record goes back to 2009 for Roy Richardson. And Roy, if you're listening, or even here, I've not even seen you here, but if you are listening over there in Blackpool, and Bob as well, hello to you guys. Roy's lap record to the 350, 88.44. That's from 2009, as we said. So we're not going to be too far away. We're going to put a load of pictures on the Manx Radio Motorsport page. Keep a little eye on that as well throughout the afternoon. Get as much in as we can in these absolutely perfect conditions. Wind direction last night, well, pretty similar today, to be fair. Looking at the flags, in fact, I'd say it's actually swung over as you look down race direction towards Ballackagan. It's kind of more going from leftish sort of to right, but it is spinning around a little bit, but nowhere near as strong as what it has been over the past few days. But it's going to get a bit gustier as today goes on. So all the practices are ready. Just see Bill Swallow coming up. Bill on his 350 AJS, and it's thinking back to Bill when he used to wear the open face helmet when he used to race around here. Yeah, really, really good. And John Goodall used to have the open face helmet too when he rode in the Manx Grand Prix, etc. Yeah, good to see that open face helmet. Obviously not allowed in these modern times. So a mixture of machines here. All the classic ones or the post-classic ones are already there. The more modernist sort of classic machines, if you want to put it like that. And a good performance by Paul Williams Pochi last night, getting to the top of the pile. Was it 98.02 or something like that that he did on his 750 Kawasaki. I think it was Mark Colvin was second in that. So yeah, so good performances by those two guys, and we'll obviously have them back out on track a bit later on. So just waiting for the gate to open. The gate man with his little radio was poised, ready for action. As you can hear all the machines in the background. And you know, I've seen a lot of people around here today, and good to hear all the different accents again here on our island from the spectators from the different parts of the world. And you know, a lot of people have been waiting for this since 2019, when we closed down after the Festival of Motorcycling as it was then. Of course, a lot of them have been racing back home in their own countries, especially over there in Ireland and England. Classic guys, and especially the foreigners have had their own series in their various nations. France, Netherlands, represented by a lot of countries here at the Blackford Financial Services pre-TT races, and of course we've had our own races up here at Derby on the airfield with a couple of the classic boys making the effort to get up there. 82, I can just see there, that's Rod Graham on his 250 Ducati Daytona for Nottingham. And I did mention last night about Lawrence Cummins on the 750 Honda. He's on in the Post Classics, and he's got Drambuie on the side. And yes, Gary J. Dicken, who of course is a helper of Conrad Harrison in the TT on the sidecars. He's got a lovely little pub, a bit of advertising up there in a place called Pomeroy, which is just outside Buxton, just outside a little village called Chelmorton in Cheshire there, just not near enough to Derbyshire, but Cheshire. And he's messaged me and says yes, Drambuie is still made, you can still get it. And I must actually say, I've never actually had a Drambuie in my life. I know it exists, we all know it exists, but how many people can you count on the... Have you ever had Drambuie, Tim? You're quite posh. Have you ever had Drambuie?
I haven't, Chris. I'm just going to tell you that the course cars, the inspection cars, are just pulling in here at the start-finish line. So the clerk of the course being dropped off after having the tour of the course to make sure we're all in racing condition. They'll now come down towards you, Chris, so that gate will be opening very shortly.
Yeah, number 99 just going through there as well. Arthur Browning on his AGS Sealy, number 40. That'll be obviously Barry Davison on his 250 Honda, and they're all starting to move the way forward now. 27. Lovely, that Alan Smallbones, regular here at Milan for many years. And there will be a couple of other bikes, I'm sure, from other classes who want to get out and get just an extra lap in the man. I've had a few problems. I've been around the race office most of the morning, and a lot of the guys have been coming in and asking, can we go out in this session? Number 45 is next. Adi Scaife on the Air Mackie. Just keep out of the way a little bit as we walk up the little link road that they have with all the yellow barriers, the crowd protection barriers, or the pedestrian barriers as they call it, all bright yellow, so you're not going to miss them. And then all the cones in the middle on the machine just behind us now, 39 and 76. Royston Phipps is 76 and 39 and 92. 39 is Ed Poole, 62 just with a problem getting it fired up. There she goes. That's Jack Hunter on the 250 Ducati. We've got a couple more coming through. Yeah, Alan Oversby, a winner here in 2019 on the 7R, the Ripley Land machine. He won on. Yeah, really, really nice. Alan, stylish rider. And of course, a multiple winner around here in nearly all the classes. I'm surprised he hasn't had a little go at the sidecars yet. Can you imagine that? Him driving, Mike Hose on the side? That's an interesting concept, isn't it? So they're all down, the winners enclosed there, the holding area there, Tim. I'll make my way down there, hand back to you. You can have a little look at the times, and hopefully by then we'll be there.
Thank you very much, Chris Kinley. I can tell you that quickest was Alan Oversby on the Ripley Land machine at lap time of 3 minutes 0.227 seconds and a speed of 84.893 miles per hour. He's in the 350s, so Mike Hose was second overall and second in the 350s, bike number 4, 84.418 miles per hour. Third quickest was number 86, Bill Swallow on the AJS Sealy at 78.171 miles per hour. And then if we go to the 250s, remember this will be two races in one. Sixth overall, but first of the 250s is Barry Davidson. And Barry Davidson, let's just give you his time. Barry Davidson was 74.985 miles per hour. Then the next 250 was 11th overall, and that's number 72, Ian Bainbridge. He's on the Cotton Telstar, 71.939 miles per hour. And then third in the 250s was 12th overall of the bikes, number 67, Jeff Bates on that lovely Honda, and he lapped on lap 3 his best lap at 70.886 miles per hour. Fourth overall on a 350 was number 47, David Tetley at 76.805. Fifth was number 45, Adrian Scaife on the Air Mackie at 75.453 miles per hour. Then it was Barry Davidson, the leading 250 in sixth. Seventh was Rod Graham on the Ducati at 73.916 miles per hour. Eighth was number 39, Ed Poole on the Manx Norton at 73.634 miles per hour. Ninth was number 121, John Cliff on another Manx Norton at 73.518 miles per hour. So those are the times. We had 23 that got at least 2 or 3 laps under their belts. 23rd was number 102, Nick Penny on that Jeff Monty special at 62.457 miles per hour. But Richard Bairstow, number 91, he retired on that 500 pattern, so didn't complete laps. So an important afternoon for him in the practice. Well, the bikes have left the dummy grid. The gate is open. They're on the circuit, and they'll shortly be coming into the site there, out at Cross Four Ways once they've gone, of course, through the Ballachagan Straight and Ballabeg hairpin, and then across Ballawhetstone, the stables there, the riding stables, Williams Corner, past Gellings Farm and Belawn Cottage, and Maggie's Cottage as well, and into the site at Cross Four Ways of Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, Tim, Chapter 2 very much underway in the pre-TT road races. Just waiting to see our first sight of those making their way past Williams Corner and the stables obviously further up as well. I'm going to try and keep an eye out for that optical illusion that seemed to be bugging my eyesight during the session yesterday, and hopefully I've been able to get rid of any trace of that, and we could just hear the first ones making their way down towards us. Just waiting for a first sight, and indeed we do just have one of those riders coming into view here, one making their way very far forward indeed to start with, and it is number 57, Brian Nicol, a couple of seconds back, number 40, Barry Davidson. So the first of the 250s through there as well, and then following behind around 3 or 4 seconds, number 99, that is Arthur Browning making his way through, then 86.47 and number 4, so Mike Hose, the last in that trio to make their way round, 39.82. So those are Edward Poole and Rod Graham. They're safely through, and here comes number 1, Mike Oversby as well, all on his own for the time being, followed by number 96, another of the 250s. That's Terence Sansom making his way through on the 250 Honda. 121 and 45 coming up next, so that's John Cliff and Adrian Scaife. Adrian Scaife on the Mackie, of course, and a fair bit of a gap looking further down. So that's the first group that's really made its way through there. A nice little mix there of both the 350s and 250s making their way through in this first session. I can feel the sun beating down already. Then 4 together making their way round Maggie's Cottage here, led by number 27, Alan Smallbones on the Ducati. Then 72, 62 and 92 coming through. Bit of a bunching up after that. Number 71, Richard Bull now making his way through, and number 97 as well, Jeff Smith, one of the newcomers. He's through safe and sound as well. And time to go back to you, Tim, I believe.
Yep, number 57, Brian Nicol is through. 40, Barry Davidson. There's number 4, Mike Hose. Of course, no times because this is the first time across the start-finish line. 37, David Tetley. 86, Bill Swallow. 99, Arthur Browning. There's number 1, Alan Oates. Just ahead of him was 82, Rod Graham. And then the 9th bike through, number 39, Ed Poole. Edward Poole. Another bike comes over the crest of School Hill Rise. There's number 96, and that's Terence Sampson through. 2 more bikes coming down into our 121 and 45. So 45 is Adrian Scaife, and 121 is John Cliff. So the first bike on the road was number 57, Brian Nicol. And then it's number 40, Barry Davidson. So quite a gap between that group and more bikes coming into view here. First one now just comes over the crest. And it is number 72, followed by 27. Then it's 62, 97, one of the newcomers. 92, 71, just overtaken. 10 ahead of 104. And that's, let's translate it, 72. Bainbridge, Alan Smallboots, Jack Hunter, Jeff Smith, Mick Morton, Richard Boole, Ben Ray, Andy Hunt and Jeff Bates all through on their opening lap. And of course this is now the first of their timed laps as they head of course towards Cross Four Ways once again, and we'll head there and not miss them hopefully now with Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, as you mentioned there, Tim, just a bit of a gap opening up towards the front two here, getting plenty of oil through those systems. And we've got Mike Hose, who's actually started to barrel his way through, out with no other riders around him. He's through Cross Four Ways safe and sound. And then coming through, we've got Barry Davidson. He's number 40. He's got himself number 57, Brian Nichol, who, of course, came through here first time around. Bit of a bunching up, followed by Mike Overspeed. Then number 86, Bill Swallow, and number 47, which is David Tetley. So those three, that trio, just making their way through now, followed by number 82. That's Rod Graham, just a couple of seconds back there. So those behind the leading two or three bunching up a little bit more here in the sunshine on the second time around. And then coming round all on his own here is number 39, Edward Poole, on that 349 Manx Norton. Plenty of tarmac to himself as he makes his way up to Church Bends in the coming moments. And then two further razzing round Maggie's Cottage here. We've got number 45, Adrian Skate, followed closely by number 121. That's John Cliff on the 350 Manx Norton there. So the group, as it seems, a bit more bunched up. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you very much. Nearly called early there, looking up the railway line, mistaking a seagull for a rider, but this is number 4, quite bang on time. That's Mike Hose at 84.661 miles per hour. So that's just would be, it's just slightly quicker than he went yesterday evening. There's number 1. And a provisional pole, and that's Alan Oakley, but he's at 83.775 miles per hour. 86, 47, 40 and 57 all through. Bill Swallow is third at 80.282. Fourth is 47, and that's David Tetley at 78.421. Rod Graham has gone into fifth, number 82. That's the last bike past us here at 76.961 miles per hour. Sixth, number 40, Barry Davidson. He's at 76.321 as 39, Ed Poole, goes through. So Barry Davidson at 76. That's significantly quicker than he put in for pole position last night. 45 and 121 through. That's Adrian Scaife and John Cliff. So Barry Davidson 6th overall, but the leading 250. 7th, number 57, Brian Nichol at 74.396 miles per hour. 8th, number 45, Adrian Scaife at 74.218. 9th, 121, John Cliff at a 73.501 miles per hour. And 10th is number 39. And that's number 10 through, Ben Ray at 79.020. So that's up into fourth for him. So Ed Poole drops down into 11th place, 71.522. And Ian Bainbridge is in 12th. But let's head out to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, I think Mike Hose certainly got the memo on the last time around to come through and pick things up a bit, and here he is again, all alone. Number 4 here, Mike Hose on the 350 Bultaco on his way through. Fair bit of a gap now looking back, and it's looking like we've got another one of those 350s coming through. Indeed, we have number 1. It's Alan Oversby making his way through now, so both Mike Hose and Alan Oversby just pulling out a bit more of a considerable gap as they make their way forward. Now coming through is this time is number 86. That's Bill Swallow Swallow ahead of number 47, making his way through now. That's David Tetley and Barry Davidson just dropping a couple of places in behind there. Number 40, he makes his way through safe and sound. 57, the latest, that's Brian Nicol, who of course started out on the front of things, just dropped a little bit further back there and just around 3 or 4 seconds behind in number 82. That's Rod Graham on the 250 Ducati. So a bit more bunching up yet again, I think, in terms of the pack in behind the front three. Seems to be a bit of a gap opening up between the likes of Hose and Oversby to the pack behind them, but things just bunching up in that first real group that were coming through here. And we've got one more coming round past Maggie's Cottage here in the sunshine, and it is number 39, Edward Poole, all alone here as he calmly makes his way around. Time to go back to you, Tim.
Yeah, Mike Hose is already through and at 84.661. So not as quick as he was that's his opening lap time. But there's number 1, Alan Oversby. He goes into provisional pole at 84.664. Which is still just a margin slower than they went last night. 86 is through Bill Swallow. 80.952, and David Tetley is through too, number 47 at 80.852. There's number 40, that's Barry Davidson, 77.045 for Barry Davidson. Now, he went at 74.9 last night, so significantly quicker is Barry Davidson this afternoon. Rod Graham's been through, number 82. He's 7th overall at 76.961. And 8th through is number 57, Brian Nicol, at 74.673. Conditions absolutely belting here on the Castletown bypass as the crowd being baked by the sunshine. 39 through, that's Ed Poole. That nudges him up to 10th at the moment, but of course more bikes to come. 45 is through. 45 is Adrian Scape. He's up into 8th, and up into 10th now is John Cliff. So Ed Poole has gone down to 11th position with those figures. Ben Ray having an outing there. Ben 81.615 miles per hour. So that's in 3rd on the timings. Let's go back to Rob Pritchard at Cross Four Ways.
Bang on cue, here is Mike Hose razzing his way through Cross Four Ways here. Absolutely impeccable timing there, Tim, I absolutely must say. A little bit of a further gap, just looking down towards Williams Corner. We could just see the figure of Mike Oversby, Alan Oversby, I should say, making his way round past Maggie's Cottage and going down through the pegs just to get himself through Cross Four Ways. So those two, Mike Hose and Alan Oversby, giving themselves plenty of a gap to the chasing pack behind them. And then further up the field here, next to Maggie's Cottage is number 86. So that is Bill Swallow. He's through, no issues whatsoever. Followed by number 47, that's David Tetley. Couple of seconds back to himself. So the three that had kind of dropped behind the front two, a little more spread out on this occasion. Here comes the next of the pack to make their way through, and it is Barry Davidson on that 250. The number 40 just leans in nicely, smoothly through, and making his way up towards Church Bends. And it's time to go back to you, Tim.
Yep, number 62 was just slowing, but this checkered flag is out, and there is number 4 across the line. Mike Hose, he goes quickest, 86.510. That is definitely the quickest by about 2 miles per hour on last night's time. So he's provisionally on pole, but here's Alan Oversby. What's the clock going to say here? No, he is going to be in second, 84.963. So it looks as if Mike Hose, bike number 4, is going to be on pole position for the singles race coming up later on here at the 2022 Blackford Financial Services Pre-TT Classic Races. There's Bill Swallow across the line, and 81.148 was the miles per hour there. David Tetley has gone past the checkered flag now. Number 47, 80.852 is his best. That was on the previous lap. Bill Swallow's quickest was that last lap we've seen, the 4th lap. 40 is through there. That's Barry Davidson. And he doesn't better the time from lap 3 of 77.045 miles per hour. 82 crosses the line, as does 57. 82 is Rod Graham. His quickest time was on lap 2, 76.961. And number 57, Brian Nichols, in 9th place. And his best time was on the previous lap at 74.673 miles per hour. So Mike Hose has thrown the gauntlet down ahead of the singles race by banging in the fastest lap. First one under the 3 minutes as well at 2 minutes 56.858 seconds. 39, let's just have a listen as they slow. Number 10. 45, and he was acting like a jockey with the whip out there, trying to get more out of his machine. Needing it to go a little bit quicker there was John Cliff, 121. Adrian Scaife safely home, but John Cliff actually did do his quickest lap there at 74.691, so the whip was working for him there on that Manx Norton, which is the Whitby rider, being prepared by the Whitby Tyre and Exhaust Centre Limited. Check, we'll put the invoice in the post for that free advertising. But yeah, a good bit of fun there as he crossed the line, trying to get a little bit more out of that bike. But we look up a sun-baked tarmac, and of course the time should improve because the track temperature will be going up. There'll be a bit more grip out there, so I think we're in for a stellar afternoon of action as we build up towards the first racing here at the Blackford Pre-TT Classic Races. Road is quiet at the moment, no bikes in sight, and we're look from our vantage point on the start-finish line. We look directly up the railway to the bridge there at Castletown Corner and can see them through the white railings crossing and making that corner. But there's a few brambles in the way, which we're having to peer over and through. See if we can get the loppers on them maybe tomorrow and have a better view for racing on Monday. Of course, a full day of racing it is here on Monday. But I think that's all the riders back home, because the checkered flag has been put back away. So let's just get some reaction to that. And first go to Rob Pritchard and Mike Hose. My word, that has thrown everything up in the air.
It absolutely has, and I mean the likes of he and Alan Oversby, of course, did well, I think, from a tactical standpoint to navigate some of the traffic in front of them quite early on there. But it seemed to me that maybe just on the opposite side of the course to where we're from, the memo came through to Mike Hose that the opportunity was there, and he's certainly taken advantage of it going through there. It just seemed to be that once they'd sort of worked their way through the traffic, there really was no stopping those two coming through. But a big statement, from Mike Hose. First big statement of the day. I'm sure there'll be many in that regard, but the two out in front, I think, and good ride as well from Barry Davidson out there as well. Nice and consistent. He made his way up and through plenty of the traffic as well, I'm sure, further back towards the likes of Ballabeg and the stables as well. But the early marker set by Mike Hose down here.
Thanks very much as the course car just comes past us here and heads down towards the paddock, where we'll head now and just get some reaction from Chris Kinley to Mike Hose with a brilliant fourth lap there at 86.510 miles per hour. Well, that really has just given a real challenge and just given a Alan Oversby, who was on provisional pole. Well, that last lap has just blown everything out of the water, Chris Kinley.
Yeah, it certainly has, Tim. A cracking last lap. Do you know, I'm not sure if I said it last night. You're kind of amazed, even though these are only the classic bikes, the speed that they go past us here, there, where the flag marshal has to stand when they finish is opposite the old road junction to get you onto the bypass. The speed that even these guys are going past here at is quite an incredible one. Yeah, back to those laps by Mike Hose and Alan Oversby. Absolute class. And well done to Ben Ray. I think you said he finished third in the end in the qualifying there. Ben going really, really well. Had a few problems, I think he said. I think maybe with the bigger bike, but he was out anyway. Oh dear me. We've got number 99, Arthur Browning's had a problem out on the circuit. Arthur's just been picked up by the course collection car, if you want to call it that. Hopefully they will get the bike back and fixed. But the next session, as we all know, the Southern 100 Club on the pipe, as they say. Heading out now, we've got the 1100cc AD Hewlett dental practice machines. Alan Oversby out again on the number one machine, not on the big Rob North Trident. he's out on that one. Okay, so not on the big 930 machine, he's on the 500 Honda. But you know what? A machine of Dominic Herberson is quick. I think we will see this lap record go this year. It goes back to 2010, 94.880, held by the man who starts at number 1, Alan Oversby. Number 12 comes through Richie Ford on the Bob Jackson racing machine. The big 920 Norton Commander just doing a bit of adjustments in the steering damper there. Hopefully be able to keep that going. Number 20, number 35. 35 is John Lee Pemberton on the 499 Max Norton. Number 20, Gary Hutton again on the 500 Honda. Another regular on the Irish roads. 16, newcomer Jeffrey Bimula. Jeffrey's got the orange bib on. A couple more coming down. Stevie Elliott from Kingsley on the 500 Rutter Honda 4. Rolls past us now. Keep an eye on the gate as well. A couple more coming down now. 96 and Terence Sampson. And there is an addition to your entry on here as well, but sure Tim will give you that, but write it down anyway. 91 is Richard Bairstow, local man 91 Richard Bairstow, and he is on a 500 pattern. So look out for that one. In this one, he was out last night and it gone reasonably well, to be fair. And then Pat and Stonehoff sound good fully on the pipe. I think we've got a problem with somebody way down just at the exit of the little holding pen. I think we can call it that because it's a field, it's a holding pen. But I'm going to take a picture now, and you'll see this picture on the Max Radio Motorsport page a little bit later on, just of the machines waiting in anger, waiting to get themselves out on circuit as the spectators cross the road from one side to the other to the grandstand area. He has got the machine sorted. It's number 99 it is. That's Arthur Browning. So Arthur getting out of the course car, and that one is Seeley G50. Always well prepared, Arthur. A good exponent on two wheels here on road and two wheels off road as well. 96, that looks and sounds gorgeous, doesn't it? Terence Sampson, the Paul and Dawn Matravers 500 Honda on the 4. Oh, I said it last night. You can actually feel your body rattling when you're close to all these, especially these, the bigger machines with the bigger cylinders. We'll have the gate open and away we go. The next practice session goes. Number 106, keep an eye out for that one, by the way. 106 Simon Lehane on the Rutter Elliott Racing CB450. He's the Pontefract. Have a look at the different colour scheme that he's got on the big eyes and the big teeth across the front. Number 12 just has a bit of a problem. He was adjusting something a bit earlier on. Not sure if it's steering damper or maybe just a clutch problem or something, or there's something just in there and he's just fiddling with. The technical officials are there just keeping a little eye on what he's doing. Machine still leaving, heading the way around this 4 1/4 Colas Blount circuit. I think Richie Ford is happy. Yeah, so that's everybody clear. Still got another 1, 2, 3, 4, about another 15 bikes to go out on circuit now as they go past the hedges and heading towards the first right-hander at Ballachagan and down that long straight towards Iron Gate, then over the railway bridge and heading towards Ballabeg, trying just to miss the entrance to Joey's Gate on the right-hand side and bouncing on the bumps towards Ballabeg, and then away they go towards the far side of the circuit, heading towards the Ballasalla area across 4 ways and heading towards the site of Rob Pritchard. Rob, the 1100 Classic race, the AD Hewitt dental practice, they're on the way to you now.
They are indeed, and I must say, even though I've had my ritual morning coffee, I don't think I would have needed it with these bikes coming past. I'm certainly feeling very much awake once they do make their way down to us. The sun has just gone into a little bit of cover behind the clouds here, as I can hear that harmony in the distance of those first riders making their way towards us. Just got that first sight of them as they make their way round towards Maggie's Cottage here, and the first through the lines is number 36, Jamie Coward, setting things early on. He's got a 2-second gap to numbers 43, 1, 100, 42 and 4. So Mike Hose leading a group of around 4 of those, just getting themselves in behind Jamie Coward, a couple of seconds behind, but the travelling pack at the front opening up just a little bit of a distance to start with there. Then we've got number 2, that is Paul Cassidy, just ahead of number 54, Peter Boast, only a bike length between them. Then 56 and 54, again just a distance between them, followed by number 40, Barry Davidson on the Team Gimbert, and number 61, fantastic noise from Leon Murphy's 500 Honda there. And then also rattling around Maggie's Cottage here, no problems at all, is number 49, and that is Anthony Ambler on the 500 Honda. A bit spread out here as the next make their way into view. Here comes number 3, Dominic Herbertson, certainly one to keep an eye on in any stretch. 94 and 75 making their way through. Time to go back to you, Tim.
Yeah, we're just looking up to School Hill, and here over the rise comes our first bike, and it's number 36, Jamie Coward. So he's got the clear road ahead of him. There's one. Let's just listen to them. So 6 have come through. So it's Jamie Coward ahead of number 1, Alan Oversby. Then it's number 43, Gary Porter. Number 4, Mike Hose. Number 42, Andy Hornby, the newcomer, who's been really impressive on his debut. And 100 is Heaven Owen. Oh, and 44 just gets ahead of number 2 there. Rob Hodson putting the move on number 2, Paul Cassidy. Ahead of them, it was Peter Boast. And then 56, Adam McLean through. 40, Barry Davidson is through. And number 61, Leon Murphy. 2 more bikes to cross the line. 49, but he was coming under pressure, severe pressure from number 3, Dominic Herbertson. So 49 is Anthony Ambler, but I think by the time they got down to the clubhouse, number 3 will have nosed ahead. 75, 91, 94 and 63 through. That's Neil Lloyd, Richard Bairstow, Gordon Clark, another newcomer, and 63 is Ian Thompson. That's the sound of 81 across the line there on the Rob North Trident. That's Keith Clark. Keith Clark, who hails from Shefford. Well, let's head back out to Cross Four Ways and get them on this first timed lap with Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, absolutely, Tim. Yeah, Jamie Coward had certainly given himself plenty of tarmac to make his way into, and he is the first to make his way round Maggie's Cottage here. Here he goes, number 36, Jamie Coward, and following a little closer behind now, Alan Oversby. He's got clear of the travelling pack behind. He's just a couple of seconds behind Coward, and then coming through next is number 43. That is Gary Porter, and a bit of a couple of seconds back to number 42. That's Andy Hornby, followed by number 100 there, Heaven Owen. So the travelling pack in behind Jamie Coward just getting a little more stretched out. Alan Oversby certainly closing the gap in behind Mr. Coward himself. And now we wait for the next pack to make its way through. Here they come through Maggie's Cottage, led by number 44, and then 54, Peter Boast, number 56, and then followed up by number 40 at the back of that. Travelling quadruple was Barry Davidson on the Team Gimbert. Number 2 now making his way through. That's Paul Cassidy, followed closely by Dominic Herbertson, number 3, 61, and then number 4 as well. That's Mike Hose in that last group of 4 to make their way through. Back to you, Tim.
Yep, rider and bike sighted on the bridge, and it is Jamie Coward, number 36. 92.290, that's quicker than they went last night. And there's number 1, Alan Oversby, 91.699 for Oversby. Last night's top 3, we'll just give you that and then give you the current times, was Dominic Herbertson, bike number 3 at 91.953, Jamie Coward 91.114, and third Alan Oversby at 91.057. So Coward and Oversby have gone quicker, but Jamie Coward has nudged it over the 92 mile an hour mark. Other riders through are 43, Gary Porter, 44, Rob Hodson. It's just through, he slots into 4th, 42. And that is number 3, and he is now provisionally on pole. Dominic Herbertson goes ahead of Jamie Coward, and he has obliterated that time. 94.291 miles per hour for Dominic Herbertson, some 3.5 seconds quicker than Jamie Coward. So it's 3 from second is 36, Jamie Coward. Third is number 1, Alan Oversby. 4th is number 43, Gary Porter. 5th is number 44, Rob Hodson. 6th, number 42, the newcomer, Andy Hornby. 7th is number 56, Adam McLean. 8th is number 40, Barry Davidson. 9th is number 54, Peter Boast. And 10th is number 100, Heaven Owen. Let's go back to Rob Pritchard at Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Just waiting for them to come through. No surprises there, I think, on number 3, Dominic Herbertson. He was certainly catching at a great deal of pace. But once again, with plenty of tarmac in front of him. First through, number 36, Jamie Coward, who's managed to pull out a little bit of a gap to number 1. Here is Alan Oversby, who now has a bit of clean air to run into himself as he makes his way round into the turn. And both of them start charging off towards Church Bends there. The two have freed themselves from the next duo to make their way through. Well, it's number 43, Gary Porter, followed closely by number 42, Andy Hornby. Hornby just snapping at the heels there of Porter as they both charge through themselves here. And then just coming round Maggie's Cottage again, all on his own at the moment, is number 100, Heaven Owen. Nice and smooth, making his way through and round up to Church Bends himself. The next travelling pack 4 coming through, led by number 44, then 56. There's Dominic Herbertson amid a group of 5. The group of 5 backed up by number 40, Barry Davidson on that Team Gimbert. So Herbertson making his way through some of that traffic there. Got that to contend with. And then all through on his own here is number 4, Mike Hose on that Sealy. And it's time to go back to you, Tim.
Bang on cue, 36 across the line. Jamie Coward, that's his quickest lap at 92.6, but he's already down into third because Alan Oversby has gone into second place at 92.912 for Oversby. Coward at 92.654 miles per hour, but it's bike number 3, Dominic Herbertson, on provisional pole. That's 42, the newcomer, Andy Hornby, at 90.010 miles per hour. He looks really smooth and he's really adjusted very quickly to racing here at the Colas Balaun course. There's number 100 across the line, Heaven Owen. There's number 3, Dominic Herbertson. He's not gone quicker on that lap than the second lap. 94.291 miles per hour still stands as the provisional pole. And remember, the lap record is Alan Oversby back in 2010 at 94.880 miles per hour. So he's just a shade away from a lap record here. The unofficial, of course, happening in practice. Mike Hose is through, I can tell you. That's 61, Leon Murphy. So it's Herbertson, number 3, ahead of second place, number 1, Alan Oversby. Third is 36, Jamie Coward. Fourth now is number 56, Adam McLean, who's gone over the 90 miles per hour. Then it's Hodgson and Hornby. Let's go to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, this might be the opening that those in behind Herbertson might be hoping for. He did have a lot of traffic to navigate as he came through Cross Four Ways last time, so maybe no real surprise he couldn't make his way through. Here's number 36, Jamie Coward, catching the travelling pack in front of him, around 3 seconds back. Here is Alan Oversby, number 1. Number 20 now making his way through as well. That's Gary Hutton on the 500 Honda. So Coward and Oversby with a bit of space going into Church Bends, and Great Meadow to possibly make up some ground here. Plenty of a gap towards the pack as we go looking back up towards Williams Corner here, and just the lone rider making his way through here is number 42, the newcomer, Andy Hornby. Plenty of clean air to go into himself there, so it's going to be interesting to see both Coward and Oversby through there with a bit of a gap between each other there, so maybe not too much jostling towards the end of the circuit as the next 3 emerge around Williams Corner here, led by number 44, followed by Heaven Owen, number 100, and number 56 goes on the inside of Heaven Owen. That's wonderful manoeuvre that, and then following up just a couple of seconds back, number 40 there, Barry Davidson on the Team Gimbert. Lovely move by number 56. Time to go back to you, Tim.
Yeah, number 106 just going through. But there is 36, and 1 is closer, it seems, to him. And Alan Oversby still in second, but 93.145 miles per hour. Jamie Coward at 92.654 miles per hour. Can tell you number 2 has retired, Paul Cassidy. There's number 20 across the line, and 20 is Gary Hutton on the 500 Honda. As here is the newcomer, number 42. He's not gone quicker than his previous lap, but he's still in 6th position at over 90 miles per hour, 90.010 miles per hour to be absolutely precise. 44 across the line, that's Rob Hodgson. And Rob Hodgson's gone quicker as well. Adam McLean is in 5th, there's number 40 across the line. That is Barry Davidson. Checkered flag still not being displayed, so they've all these riders that have gone past have got a chance just to see if they can eke another place or two up that provisional leaderboard. But coming quite slowly across the line this time was number 3, Dominic Herbertson. Had a quick look behind him as well. And Checkered flag is now out. But lap 2, that was the lap that has set this practice session up. That was 94.291 miles per hour. Let's head out to Cross Four Ways for the last time in this practice session to Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, the remainders of the travelling pack at the back just have made their way through in the last few seconds and charging up through the pack here. Good 3 or 4. And here is Alan Oversby. He's come out in front of number 16, which is Jeffrey Van Meulen, just ahead of Jamie Coward. Jamie Coward dropping in behind just there, and number 96 following suit as well as Terence Sanson, that is. So Alan Oversby just getting to the front of that little pack, and one bike sandwich between him and Jamie Coward here now comes through number 106. That's one of the newcomers, Simon Lehane, with a bit of space to himself there. So it's going to be Oversby with a bit more fresh tarmac in front of him, with a couple of other riders behind him. Here's number 42, Andy Hornby, another of the newcomers once again. He's making his way through all on his own here in the next round. Maggie's Cottage, 2 more here, and there is number 41. That's Colin Stockdale, just in front, about a bike's length in front of number 20, Gary Hutton there. Both make their way through safe and sound, and then with a bit of space yet again, number 56 here making plenty of pace through. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, we don't want to miss the runners and riders as they come towards us. It's difficult to spot the leader now because they're in amongst the lower order riders. But I think this is Oversby. Indeed it is. Slowing because the checkered flag is being displayed. He hasn't gone quicker than on the previous lap. And neither is Jamie Coward, who seemed to get stuck in traffic a little bit there. 96 has just crossed the line to finish. That's Terence Samson. So it is pole position for number 3, Dominic Herbertson, at 94.291 miles per hour, as 106 is across the line, and 42, Andy Hornby, though not going quicker on that 5th time lap. It is the 3rd lap that he will be his counter at 90.010 miles per hour. So Herbertson, 94.291, is in pole. 2 bikes coming together across the line there, including number 56, Adam McLean. And let's head down to Chris Kinley.
Yeah, back down in the that little holding pen as we discussed a few minutes ago. Rob Hodgson's just come back in off the bike. And let's get some thoughts from Rob. Just let him finish the chat to his guys first. Rob, welcome back to our island, and what do you make of it, Blount, so far, day 2?
Oh, it's like we've never been away, to be honest.
Good fun?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, we just got out in that session, entered the extra class just for more track time. Obviously, it's new bike to the team and to me, so yeah, we just get as many laps as we could. So just a few more gearing changes, and we'll be away, I think.
A couple of lads were saying the entrance into Cross Four Ways was a bit skitty last night. Do you get the feel of that?
I'm just trying to think what cross. Oh yeah. Not too bad, to be honest. No, it's not. It's pretty good conditions, and it's perfect today as well. So yeah, I think for later on we should be all right.
Just Tim, if you just tell me here his lap time, I'll be able to give you his lap time in a second. But you seem to be going okay. Yeah,
not too bad. Like I said, we went out yesterday for the first test on this bike, so it was a bit long on the gearing. We're only just getting 6 near the end of the start-finish straight, so we're still a bit long. So there's plenty more speed to come, and a bit more in my riding as well. So yeah, we'll see how we get on.
A bit different this time tomorrow, won't it? Tim, you got that lap speed for Rob Hodgson? 90.376. Happy with that?
Yeah, that's a touch quicker than yesterday. So yeah, we know we can go quicker, so we'll be thereabouts, I think.
So what are you going to change? Just gearing now, or?
Just gearing, a touch of suspension, but nothing major. We just need to get into top gear a bit earlier, or I need to stop on the pies, 1 or 2. I don't know.
Both. Thanks, Rob. Cheers.
Thank
Nice to speak to you. Good man. Cheers. So next up, we will have the Jeff Duke Junior Superbike Rate Classic practice, race number 5 in your programme, and. Yeah, that's near enough our first getting close to lap record, Tim Glover, isn't it, eh? But what did you say, like 200ths of a second or something outside that lap record?
Very close indeed. If you like, we'll just go through as many of the times in that. First is number 3, Dominic Herbertson at 94.291 miles per hour. Second is Alan Oversby, number 1, at 93.145. Third, number 36, Jamie Coward at 92.654 miles per hour. Fourth, number 44, Rob Hodson, I've just been hearing from, at 90.376. Fifth was number 56, Adam McLean, at 90.305. As number 99 just comes across the line, Arthur Browning on the Matchless Sealy. Sixth then is number 42, the newcomer, Andy Hornby at 90.010. Seventh, number 40, Barry Davidson at 89.497. Eighth is number 54, Peter Boast at 89.469 miles per hour. Ninth, number 43, Gary Porter at 89.014. 10th, number 4, Mike Hose at 88.566 miles per hour. Then in 11th we have number 100, Heaven Owen. 12th, number 11, Stephen Elliott. 13th, number 35, John Lee Pemberton. 14th, number 91, Richard Bairstow. 15th, number 61, Leon Murphy. 16th, number 12, Richard Ford. 17th, number 81, Keith Clark. 18th, number 49, Anthony Ambler. 19th, number 16, Jeffrey Vermeulen. 20th, number 63, Ian Thompson. 21st, number 75, Neil Lloyd. And 22nd, number 51, Nikolai Klinker. So that is as far as we can go as course car just goes through here on the start-finish line. The second one just emerging into view. Let's go back to Chris Kinley.
Yeah, I've mentioned a couple of times number 106, Simon Lehane. I want to have a quick chat with Simon if I can. Hello, young man. Hello, Simon, Chris. Welcome to our island. Newcomer here. What do you make of the club, first of all, and the circuit?
Oh, the club have been fantastic, really friendly, really inviting. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. First a bit daunting. Went out with Chris Palmer and like lots of tech in, sort of overloaded a bit.
Did he slow down a bit when he spoke, or was he 100 mile an hour? No,
100 mile an hour. That's what I'm saying. Couldn't take anything in really, but yeah, it was good. It was good, but I felt more at ease once I'd been out and done a few laps. So yeah, enjoying it. Probably trying a little bit too hard just then, and probably slowed things up a little bit. But yeah, I'm sure it'll come.
Were you struggling anywhere?
You'll have to tell me the names now, Chris.
So we go here and then we take the right hand and then the big long
that's
straight.
All right, down that bit. Yeah. Probably after Ballabeg, you know, the bit where you're looking for the mirror after that, that bit there. Probably just easing off a bit too much. Probably a good thing in some respects, taking me time to. I'm braking probably too early or changing down probably where I shouldn't be, but it's a learning curve, isn't it? So.
And what about? Tell us about the paint scheme, because I've described it quite a bit on the radio because a lot of people are asking about it. I've actually put a picture on our Manx Radio Motorsport page of it as well. Explain us the reasoning behind it. You're going to stand out on it.
Yeah, I thought it was just something different. First pre-TT, and the bike's a black bomber, so I just thought we're going to go with the bomber theme. Really, it was just something a bit different, you know. So and probably stands out in the crowd a bit.
Well, enjoy it here, Simon. Get you well. Hey, listen, it's what it does. You've got to be socially media aware these days, haven't you? Yeah. Enjoy your time here.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Simon. Cheers so much. Simon Lehane on the 106. Dominic Herbertson, just about to have a quick chat with him. He's just about to go out on the number 3 bike. Just maybe a thought on him on the little TSR 250 just before he goes out. And Dominic, very quickly, happy with the last practice?
Yeah, over the moon, you know. So we've got a long way to go with the bike. It's still a development, but I'm going to go have a spin on this 250 and learn how to ride a 2-stroke.
All right, let you go. Thank you, Dom. Cheers. He'll be one to watch for in that out on that number 3 bike. And you know what? The TSR, it looks absolutely beautiful. It does. The TSR 250R Honda. Oh, clunking. Didn't he? Just a little clump in the gear. John Chapman racing on the side of that. And Dominic is away. The machines are already, Tim, making the way to the little holding area. Number 30, Connor Wade, one of our newcomers again with the orange bib. And nice to get the story from Simon Lehane. Number 94, that's Goody Clark on the old FZ 600. I think we mentioned about that bike yesterday. It's actually still got the rear light in the seat unit. So he's not got a race seat unit. He's just got the normal, road going seat unit with the red lights on the back. Hopefully it's not wide in, because he's probably got his night light, you know, when it goes a bit dark we'd have to put a light on. He's probably got it on for there. So I'll make my way up there, Tim. I'll keep a little eye on when they go on track and we'll go back to you.
Yeah, we'll just go through the practice times for this particular class, and provisional pole on the 250 Yamagata is Chris Moore at 92.354 miles per hour. Then in second place, it's 118 Andy Saylor at 89.541 miles per hour. And third, Tom Snow, number 28, in the 250 Yamaha, at 89.356 miles per hour. So just a reminder as well that we have got that slight change this evening, and that's due to the red flag we had on the sighting lap last night for the 500cc race. So they're going to run a 500cc practice session before this evening's races. So at 5 o'clock there will be a technical inspection of the 500cc race bikes. It's race 8 in the programme. Then at 5:55 they will leave the holding area and proceed to the dummy grid. 3 minutes past 6 the 500cc race commence practice. They will practice through to 6:15, and then the races this evening will proceed as per the schedule. So there'll be a small delay in the timings, but race 1, the 250 and 350 singles, will start at approximately 6:25. Technical inspection timings, though, have not changed for race 1, 2 or 3, and are as per the schedule printed. Now, the recovery van will not be out this evening, so if you unfortunately retire on the course in the practice session and are racing in race 2 on the 500, you will not be able to race. So that really does give the riders a dilemma. They might want to just check a repair or something and go out and risk that breakdown. Do they just think, no, I'll park it and leave? It's a tricky one. We'll see. I'll have a lot more detail on that later on in the afternoon. But we're all set to go. So we've had the 1,100 Classics. They've had the checkered flag as we come up to just after 1:30 now. And the practice due to be away at 1:29. It's the Post-Classic Junior Superbikes Race 5. And they have got until 1:41 p.m. So let's get back to Chris Kinley with an update on whether that gate is opening.
Yeah, Tim, I've actually had to go the other side of the recovery trucks to try and get a bit of silence as I walk past the back of the bikes, because it is so loud. And we'll get that sorted for later on today. So here we go, right at the front. I do believe there's some fluid on the circuit around Ballabeg sort of area, so they're keeping a little eye on that, I think, at the moment. Maybe having a little check on that. They've just doing a little radio check, so I don't think we're going to be too far away. Good news. So the number 33 bike of Chris Moore, the pole centre from last night, fires the little 250 Yamaha up and he's away. 83 Gareth Arnold, one of the local guys from Ramsey, on his 2003 TZ 250 away. 25 just took a lovely pick to that machine. Keep out for that tonight. That's Peter Moore, son of Roy, having a little dander around. Hopefully no problems with that machine today. 105 Andy Cowie, another Ramsey man, 1985, an old GPZ 600 Kawasaki. 31 and 95. 31 is Colcroft. 95 newcomer from Caterham, Steve Paul Higgerty. And this is a good photo opportunity for number 54 Pete Boast, riding one of John Chapman's machines, and number 3 next to him Dominic Herbertson. There's a nice little photo opportunity for that team there. As you hear the 250 scream away, Dominic is going to be last on the road. So that's for your information, Rob. You keep a little eye on it. They've been sat here a little while. It's not too warm though, so it's pretty good on the conditions. So the 250s and the junior superbikes are all making their way round to you. They're at the far side of the circuit now, probably opposite me round about Ballabegish, and we'll hand over in good time to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
Copy that, Chris. Yep, thank you very much indeed. Just waiting for the first sight of those coming, obviously just making their way probably around past the stables at this point, waiting for the first glimpse, really, as the sun comes back out over here at Cross Four Ways. I can feel that sun beating down. I think this could be the first move with the purple jacket coming off, and what could be numerous occasions, I think, throughout the day if things stay like this, and we could just hear the noise of the first couple making their way down. Yes, there they are. It's 3 making their way, barreling through Maggie's Cottage here, and first through here is number 33, 29 and 118. So Andy Saylor bringing up the rear on that one, and out in front, Chris Moore on the 250 Yamagata leading that very closely congested trio on the way through. Next to make their way forwards are number 57 and number 83 there, so that's Brian Nicol and Gareth Arnold, another of the newcomers on the 248 Yamaha. And then things spreading out a little bit further back. Here's number 52 making his way through. That's Brian Clark on the 600 there, followed by 50, 105 and then 25, and then making up that last 4 to come through is number 28, Tom Snow. Impressive time from him yesterday. Number 46 through, no problem at all. That's Anthony Redmond. And number 31 as well, Colin Croft. Followed closely again, just a couple of bike lengths behind by number 95. That's Steve Paul Higgerty on the 249 Yamaha. Time to go back to you, Tim, I think.
Yes, just as the bike emerges, the first one, and it is number 33, Chris Moore, who's across the line, the man who's provisionally on pole. 118 and 29 are through. 118 is Andy Saylor, 29 is Marcus Simpson. And then there's a bit of a gap back. 2 more bikes emerge. 57 and 83. 57 is Brian Nicol and 83 is Gareth Arnold. Slightly smaller field for this particular race. 2 more into view. 4 into view. 50, 28. And that was 52 and 105 in very close order there. 46 across the line is Anthony Redmond. So 28 was Tom Snow, 52 Brian Clark, 105 Andrew Cowie as 3 go past us all at the same time. And one of those was number 3, Dominic Herbertson. Peter Bose, number 54, was in there, as was number 31, Colin Croft. Stephen Paul has gone through, number 95, Adrian Scave, Connor Wade, and another newcomer. Connor's a newcomer as number 30, and number 94, the other newcomer, Gordon Clark. So it's Chris Moore who's leading on the road. Let's go to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. He certainly had plenty of space. He'd opened up himself a nice little bit of a gap by the looks of it as he just about made his way into the corner from the trio that made their way through. And just emerging into view here is number 33, right on cue, Chris Moore of New Mills on the Yamagata, and he really has opened up a gap to the other 2, which are now barreling through Williams Quarter, coming up towards Maggie's Cottage here. And it's a wonderful move. Andy Saylor, number 118, through and past number 29, Marcus Simpson there. Lovely little manoeuvre there from Saylor coming into Cross Four Ways just to get himself round on that quick right-hand turn as they both made their win, and they go soaring up to Church Benz there. So Chris Moore at the front, and now Andy Saylor popping in behind a few seconds. Next 2 coming through now, number 57 and 83 still pretty close together at the moment, and those are Brian Nicol and Gareth Arnold. Not too much between the 2 of them as it stands, and then a little bit further back with plenty of tarmac to himself once again, it's number 28, Tom Snow, so plenty of fresh air for him to be riding into, followed by number 50 there through safe and sound as well. That's Dave Glover, and it's time to go back to you, Tim, I think.
It is. First bike comes over the crest, and it is number 33, Chris Moore, 95.089. So that's considerably quicker than the 92.3 from last night. So speeds are definitely up as predicted this afternoon. 29 is through, as is 118. 29, the newcomer, Marcus Simpson, 90.234 miles per hour for him. Andy Saylor at 89.490. But what a lap that is by number 33, Chris Moore, 95.089. 2 more bikes into view, and having a good old dice here, number 57 and 83. 83 on the times, though, is ahead in 4th. But no, it's gone down to 5th because that was 28 across the line. Tom Snow, he's put in a lap of 92.360. His quickest was 89.3 last night. But Dominic Herbertson now into second place. Number 3 across the line, 94.785 miles per hour. Peter Boast has gone up, just crossing the line. Number 54 into fourth place at 91.091. As 52 crosses the line, that's Brian Clark. And two more emerge here, 45 and 31. But it's Chris Moore, but Dominic Herbertson's pushing. Let's go to Rob Pritchard at Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, he absolutely is, Tim. And brilliant performances so far from the likes of Chris Moore and Tom Snow, but it was actually just handed back to you. Dominic Herbertson was really not messing about at all. Here is Chris Moore, number 33, just dropping it down a couple of pegs, and he makes his way through safe and sound. Still plenty of space between him and those behind, but yeah, as I said, that as we hand it back to you, Herbertson really was a man on the charge coming through Cross Four Ways, so it'll be interesting to see where he ends up come the end of this session. And next through here is number 29, and there is Marcus Simpson. He's managed to get himself back ahead of Andy Saylor, number 118. Saylor made that move inside on Simpson on the previous lap round, but the roles have been reversed once again. So there is Marcus Simpson just getting himself ahead of number 118, Andy Saylor on the 600 Kawasaki, and then a fair distance back, just waiting in the distance in the sunshine as they make their way round Maggie's Corner here. Certainly plenty of pace carried through here from number 28, Tom Snow, absolutely not hanging around at all. And here's number 83 on the inside of 57. Time to go back to you, Tim, I think.
Yeah, they're spread out, so we've got to keep an eye on number 3, though, in the standings. 33 across the line. Hasn't gone any quicker. That's Chris Moore. Still that lap 2 time of 95.089. is the pole, but Dominic Herbertson 94.785 last time around. He's just half a second slower. Here's 29 across the line. That is Marcus Simpson and also Andy Saylor. 118 are through. They're in 5th and 6th currently at 90.949 for Simpson and 90.510 miles per hour for Saylor. So Chris Moore couldn't go quicker on that last lap, so we've got to wait now for number 3, Dominic Herbertson, to see what the order's going to be. There's 28, Tom Snow. He hasn't gone quicker than last time, but that is, I think, number 3 right in the slipstream there. And he goes to the top of the leaderboard here, 95.232 miles per hour compared to Chris Moore's 95.089. He was right in the exhaust pipe almost of number 57, Brian Nicol, as they went through. Peter Boast is through, number 54. He stays in 4th. And Dave Glover is in 9th position, number 50. Up into 7th is through is number 46, Anthony Redmond. But Herbertson leads the way ahead of Moore. Let's go to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
I don't know what the timings are, Tim, but every time we make our way back to you as the riders make their way round, Herbertson is just coming into shot at my end. But as it stands right now, once again, here he is, Chris Moore, number 33. Once again, absolutely not hanging about, and he'll be wanting to make yet another impression after that absolutely flying lap from Herbertson on his way round. It did seem as though he'd been coming up to me in the last couple of laps. He'd started to clear just a bit of the traffic in front of him and behind him as well, a bit like he did in the previous session as well, just to give himself some clean air. And then following through the 2 in behind, there were 29 here. That's Marcus Simpson. Opened up a little bit more of a distance between himself and Andy Saylor, number 118, who makes his way through there. So the 2 in behind Chris Moore, who was making his way around. Just a little bit of a gap opening up between those two this time around. It's been quite closely contested the last couple of times around here at Cross Four Ways. No time for any more, though. It's time to go back to you, Tim, I think.
Well, we're using a bit of guesswork here because the train is completely obscuring our view of the bridge. But the guesswork has worked because here is number 33. And he's got the option of another lap if he wants, and he's gone quicker at 95.180, but still just a whisker behind number 3, Dominic Herbertson. In fact, there's about 100th of a second between them. That's how close they are, as the smoke from the train filters now across School Hill, and we see coming through the murk is number 29. And here is number 118, 29, Marcus Simpson, the leading newcomer in the timing standings at the moment at 91.030. Andy Saylor, 90.510 is still his quickest time. But Chris Moore will have another chance as 28 goes through. That's Tom Snow remaining in third. There's Herbertson, 96.200. It's the fastest time so far. I think he was saying to Chris Kinley when he was talking in the paddock there, he was going to go out and learn how to ride a 250. Well, he's a quick learner by the look of it. As number 83, Gareth Arnold, crosses the line. And that's 57, Brian Nicol, across the line. So Herbertson, he is now about 0.04 of a second quicker than 33, Chris Moore. We've got a great race brewing here. Let's go to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Chris Moore did incredibly well to make up some ground there, but Herbertson just pushing the issue a bit more on the timing boards. Here is Chris Moore again, right on cue here. Plenty of pace as he makes his way through, nice and clean through Cross Four Ways here. He'll be looking to answer yet another question posed to him, see if he can maybe, just maybe, try and sneak that pole position. But Herbertson really has set the bar high. But I absolutely agree with you, Tim. If things are standing as the way they are in the performances we've been seeing so far, we could be in for a very exciting race indeed later today. Well, Chris Moore really has some vast daylight between himself and the next to make their way through here. Coming through past Maggie's Cottage, it is number 29, Marcus Simpson, just extending that distance between himself and Andy Saylor, number 118. He's making his way through as well. Both of them have a little bit of clean air to themselves, possibly as they roar their way up to Church Bends as well. And we could just see the next travelling pack making their way over the horizon through Williams Corner and Maggie's Cottage. And here is Dominic Herbertson, the leader as it stands at the moment, barrelling his way through. Time to go back to you, Tim.
95 across the line, 94, there is 33, and he's gone back to the top, 96.385 miles per hour. Over to you, Dominic Herbertson, is the message there from now in pole position, Chris Moore. The checkered flag is out, so we wait with bated breath now to see what number 3 Dominic Herbertson is going to do in response, because that pole position that looked assured, well, not assured was it with the margins we were talking about. Well, Chris Moore has now put himself top of the pile. 2 minutes 38.739 seconds as 29 crosses the line. That's the newcomer Marcus Simpson, and that's number 118 Andy Saylor. So what's number 3? That's bike number 3 we need to look out for, Dominic Herbertson. And here he is. And he goes top, 96.870. So it's to and fro between Herbertson and Moore. But Dominic Herbertson with that lap of 2 minutes 37.943 seconds, 96.870 miles per hour. He is in pole position for this race. Second, number 33, Chris Moore. And, well, he's about 0.02 of a second down as number 83 goes through. Chris Moore's second at 96.385. And then it's number 28, Tom Snow. But let's go to Chris Kinley. Wow.
Yeah, that's a pretty good practice session. And Chris Moore is going to be with me in about 10 seconds. Chris? Just a sec. I know he wants to get back. Second quickest, you and Dominic trading times up to the 96. What was Chris's speed again, Tim, quickly?
Yeah, Chris's time, 96.385 miles per hour, so he's second on the grid.
Second on the grid, 96.385. She's going well.
Yeah, I'm happy enough. It's only my second time here, so I'm just take my helmet off.
Yeah.
I'm fluking the braking markers a little bit. Had a quick chat with Jamie Coward before, and he's going to give me a run round, show me some pointers.
Where are you struggling?
All the corners.
All the corners, getting the thing stopped?
Yeah, so I'm a little bit too late sometimes into the really slow ones, so I'm actually ended up going around slower, and a bit too early on the faster ones. So I know where I'm creeping it along, so a bit quicker than last night. So
it is,
yeah.
You and Dominic trading first and second place anyway, so...
Well, he's not a bad person to finish second to.
Not bad at all. Anything you can learn, anything going to change before later, the racing?
Gearing's still out.
Yeah.
Whether
Which
that's
way?
the wind.
Just a little bit of a breeze, yeah?
Not,
Where are you struggling?
not pulling top,
Yeah.
so I could easily run all the way down to the first corner, Ballocagan, in 5th, I think. So yeah, I need to. We changed it again for this morning, this afternoon. But yeah, still out.
And then when you're coming down into Cross Four Ways, you got a bit of a breeze behind you. Is that affecting you the other way?
Not really, because you've got all the
trees.
Yeah, it's a bit more sheltered, isn't it? Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, let me get back and debrief the guys. Thanks for talking to us, Chris.
Huge thanks to Mick Outhwaite and John. As always, immaculate prepared bike. Silver Star Services, awesome. Thanks to Brian Knowles, C3 Technical, commercial audio, huge help this year. Fantastic. Yeah.
Somebody was asking me last question. I want to know you want to go Yamagata. Why a Yamagata? Yamaha, or the stand of Yamsel or something. Why the Gata bit?
I'm only guessing it's either my clumsy writing or my clumsy keyboard skills. It should be reading Yamaha TZ.
Yeah.
You figure that one out, but yeah, Yamagata it's a Yamaha TZ.
What you should have done there is alluded on the story. So, it's a special thing that we've made, and so if you should have alluded to that.
Could have done, yeah, but I really wouldn't have known to make a story up for a Yamagata.
Good man, Chris. Let you get back. Cheers.
Thanks, Chris. Cheers,
thanks, guys. Well done, you lot. Number 33 there, Chris. Second in practice. I'm just going to go down because Dominic's just down here. So somebody's just asked me about the Yamagata. So there you go, dear listeners, and my old mate Dickie Gale listening over there at the little enclosure. That's the reason why it's a Yamagata. He can't spell on a keyboard. So we'll take a little wander down and just grab him before he disappears. He's deep in conversation at the moment with Alan Oversby. And I'll just get Dom if we can. Hello, Alan. Nice to see you. Dom, just come on. No, you're always in trouble. Come this way. I don't want to get you just run over or something like that. Good practice. You and Chris Moore trading first and second. You're on pole for the 250s. How was that?
All right, really?
Yeah. What was his speed, Tim? If you got your ears on till, I can relate it to him. It's gone off your screen, hasn't it? It's gone off his screen again. That's what it's done.
Oh, easy done.
Yeah, he's not ready. We haven't got it there. But anyway, you're on pole. Good handle enough. Chris Moore was saying struggling with gearing.
I have no idea. I literally just put the gum shield on and hung on for dear bleeding life. For the last time I rode a two-stroke properly was down Bray Hill in the Classic TD 2019. So long ago, Chris. So long ago. But no, that was definitely an eye-opener, pardon the pun, for me anyway.
How is the eye?
The eye is good, yeah. I've got 20/20 vision, but I've lost my ability to blink. So I'm not missing a thing, Chris. I'm over the bleeding moon, to be fair. Over the moon.
On the 250, you've obviously just been out on the classic bike, the 250, completely different animal altogether, different braking markers, different braking points. Explain that to the listeners.
The thing about the classic bikes is normally from singles to twin. Now, I know they've not got a lot of top end, but they've got grunt, sheer utter grunt. Now, for the nature of Ballown...
Explain grunt.
Grunt is just sheer bottom end power. So the Barry White of racing, ladies and gentlemen, nice and bassy at the low end of the scale. So it punches out the corners a lot easier. Now, the thing about the two-strokes are you have to ride the clutch a lot because all the power is at the top end of the power range.
So it's very narrow, if you want to call it a Manx parlance. Very narrow.
Oh, very narrow, young'un, very narrow. In a Geordie accent. Anyway, but it's so riding these, the advantage of riding on the two-stroke first time here on it is you're having to flow the corners a lot more, and then normally your aggression's going get late, get braking hard as you can, but on the 250 you can't. You've got to relax, take a breath and actually flow the turn as best you can anyway. I'm learning, young'un, I'm learning.
Round this 4.25 mile circuit, the Colas Ballown circuit, explain to us your favourite corner on this track, on this circuit, and why.
Church bends, it's just so flowing, it's fantastic. Walls either side, you've got people waving programs, and you get the odd lad going, he could have gone a bit quicker, and you're like, yeah, I know, I'm working on it, but no, church bends for me. But the bumhole, see, I'm working backwards on the track, there's no actual iron gate. This track's just class, Chris.
Stadium?
How can you forget the stadium? Fantastic corner, and it's a lot of my good friends. I've loved that turn. Absolutely love that turn.
Dom, nice to chat to you, and sort that eye out, will you?
Yeah, not a problem. Just don't backhand your mother. That's how I got this.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Dominic, thanks very much for your time. She's going to kill you. She really is. Tim, we'll go back to you and look at the rest of the times.
That's just fantastic stories there. Can't spell, so that's why we've got the Yamagata. And, isn't Dominic Herbertson one of the real characters currently in the paddock, and always entertaining and a breath of fresh air to listen to. And it is Dominic Herbertson, number 3, who's on pole, 96.870 miles per hour. 33 Chris Moore is in second position at 96.385 miles per hour. Hardly anything at all between them. Third is number 28, Tom Snow, 94.318 miles per hour. Fourth is number 118, Andy Saylor, 91.654 miles per hour for him. Fifth, number 54, Peter Boast, 91.091 miles per hour. Sixth, the newcomer Marcus Simpson, bike number 29, 91.071 miles per hour. Seventh, another newcomer, Gareth Arnold, bike number 83, 88.161 miles per hour. Eighth, number 46, Anthony Redmond, 87.314 miles per hour. Ninth, number 57, Brian Nicol at 86.543 miles per hour. And 10th, number 50, Dave Glover at 85.862 miles per hour. 11th, number 45, Adrian Scaife. 12th, number 105, Andrew Cowie. 13th, number 30, Connor Wade. 14th, number 31, Colin Croft. 15th, number 94, Gordon Clark. 16th, number 95, and 17th, number 52. But let's get back to Chris Kinley.
There's a lovely little machine right beside me here, the number 100 machine, a little MT100, MT125 of Heffin Owen. Maybe have a chat with Heff if we can in a minute. He's just speaking to his guys. He's running a little machine up to temperature. And you look at the seat pad there. Heff, you got a moment? Just come away from the noise a bit there. Heffin, lovely to see you again. Tell us a bit about the little 100 125.
I wish I could, Chris. I only saw it for the first time yesterday.
I love stories like that. How did this ride come about?
There's a lad called Jeff Smith. He contacted me a couple of weeks ago and offered me a ride on it, and he said he'd bring it over for me. So we looked at it for the first time yesterday. We didn't manage to get out on it yesterday, unfortunately. We had a couple of teething issues, but touch wood, it'll go all right today.
What about the little 125s? Have you ever ridden one before?
I've ridden a 98 RS a few years ago when I was a little bit lighter and slimmer. So I've been doing a bit of Pilates this morning, so hopefully I'll fix on it.
Dude, what? Pilates?
Do you not do Pilates?
No idea what that is.
I think it'd be a wonder for you. You need to look into it, yeah.
So, Heff, let's talk about the seat hump as well. You're obviously a similar-ish sort of height to me, but a bit more manly looking than me.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, I found all the foam I could manage, and I stuck it on the seat because I couldn't actually get my legs on the bike.
How are you going to get your head under the screen?
We're not worried about that.
You're not worried?
No, I'll concentrate on that.
So the bike, looking at the book here, what year is it?
It's a 1987.
Wow, so that's an early one, isn't it then?
It is, yeah. It's actually one of the later ones in the race, to be honest. I think the only one that's newer is Mark Herbertson's, which is an 89.
Crikey, yeah. Good to see them out again, though, isn't it?
It is, mate. Yeah, it's nice to see them around here.
All right, Heffin, thanks for your time.
No worries, mate.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks, Heffin. Owen, excellent stuff. And yeah, she sounds well. She does. And one man I'm sure who would probably like to be riding on something like this is Chris Palmer. Maybe grab a word with him, old mate. Pardon me if we can. Stop talking, and I'm going to have a chat with him. Just to butt in, sir. I want to talk to you, Chris Palmer. Just to speak to Heffin Owen about his 1987 little RS 125. Do you know what? The smile, if I can just picture in your mind's eye, dear listener, Chris Palmer with the biggest grin on his face. He's got one of those. That's nice to see this. Hello, Chris.
Hello, how are you doing? Yeah, no, it is lovely to see them, isn't it? You know, it's and you don't realise how little they are, do you, until you see them in the flesh again, you know. But yeah, no, it's nice to see the two strokes. You know yourself that I'm two-stroke through and through. So I was listening to a 250 revving up last night, and it was as sharp as anything. I thought, yeah, they've got the jetting right on that, and you know, it's nice. It is nice. It's nice.
The little bikes like that, I bet you wish you were doing that, don't you? Or do you? No. You're riders liaison down here now. You've had your hands full, haven't you?
Yeah, no, you know, I've been running around like a headless chicken all morning helping people, and obviously I take the newcomers round and show them the lines that I used to use and the markers on the road that I used to use, and I can let all my little secrets out now and hopefully help the newcomers and keep them safe. But you know, it's nice to be involved. You know, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, am I? You know, so
none of us are.
No, exactly. But you know, it's nice to be involved. Nice to be involved with the club. Nice to help the newcomers. Put a little bit back into the sport. I'm helping young Joe Yeardsley nowadays, and I honestly believe he's a star of the future. You know, he went out last night. Never been to this track before. he's just got rid of his novice jacket end of last year, just got his national licence literally this week, and he went out and went fourth fastest in against the 750s last night. So yeah, really chuffed with that.
And he was away, was it last week? Did really well, won a couple of races.
Yeah, he went to Aintree, never been there before. I think he had 2 wins at Aintree. Went to Darley Moor the day after. He won by 28 seconds at Darley, never been there before. So I really do believe we're seeing a good lad for the future.
Let's go through a lap round here very quickly. Going into Ballachagan, what sort of points were you looking for before you started tipping? What are your braking markers? What were you looking for on the road?
It depends what bike you're on for braking markers.
Let's say this 125 then.
Yeah, well, brake as late as you possibly can, basically. But I used to use the centre line as you go over the rise before there. A metre to the left of the centre line gives you an absolute perfect straight line straight through. And then as you brake on the uphill section, and it acts like a brake assist. The bike really buries into it. But then as you go over the crest, it feels like you're letting the brakes off, but you're actually not. And then obviously just everything's late apex, and carry as much corner speed as you possibly can, and keep your shoulders off the wall. When you get down to the next corner, Iron Gate, you've got to really watch your shoulder on the wall, and you've got to watch the curb coming out, and then you get to Joy's, you've got to use the blind apex past the curb that you think.
You've got to trust it, haven't you?
Absolutely. It's almost you've got to throw caution to the wind, but trust what you can't see more than what you can see.
What's it like going into Ballabeg on the little bike, the bigger bike, but the little bike, bit of a handful on the bumps?
Yeah, well, we used to put softer springs in them and stuff like that. This is what I try and also tell the newcomers, that if you come over here with a bike set for short circuits, you're going to suffer on the bumps. So I try and give them a bit of guidance that way as well. But yeah, there's little tricks to that as well, because you're going to bottom the front end out, and as long as the bike's vertical, you can let the bike bottom out and it doesn't skip out from under you. But if it does it when it leaned over, then you've got to be really cautious. And when you approach Ballabeg, you've got to go for the curb, but then follow it round to the left and make it a wide turn, make it like a slingshot corner. Otherwise, it's a real stop-start, and you lose all your speed and acceleration and momentum then. So, yeah.
And then you're on the back of the circuit, round through Williams, etc. like that. Technical, that, isn't it?
It is, but there's nothing better in the world than taking a bike absolutely flat out down through the Balown Dip. It's absolutely like a roller coaster ride. I get sort of excited now just even thinking about it and talking about it, but especially on a faster bike, you go down through there flat out in top, it's mega.
So then you drop through the hill, you do the little rise in the top of the road after the bomb hole, and drop down to where Rob Pritchard is at Crossford Ways. How difficult is it to get set for Crossford Ways? Because it's quite narrow just at Maggie's Cottage, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not so much the issue. The issue is you've got to brake as late as you possibly can and scrub as much speed off as you can, get down through the gearbox, but then you've got the left kink, so you're kicking the gears out, braking as hard as you can, but then also leaning over through the corner. And you can't go too far left because it's a little bit dirty and there's drains, so you've got to keep like a metre out, but then you've got to late apex. If you tip into Crossford Ways too early, you've got the same situation. You run out to the rector bags and you run out into the dirty part of the road, so again you've got a late apex to make the best of it, really.
Dominic Herberson just said his favourite corners at Church Bends. What do you make of that when you were riding it? 125, would it just be fourth, fifth gear?
No, it's actually third gear, but you do run through really fast. The level of tarmac now is higher because they've resurfaced it, so you can run right to the curb on the inside, on the right hand side, and you've got to be that close to get across for the left-hander, and then you've got to make sure you don't catch your helmet and your shoulder on the wall on the left-hander. So it's a real technical part of the track.
And then the fast one at Great Meadow, flat to the pipe.
Absolutely flat on everything. It really is, and then you get to Stadium, and Stadium's flat in fifth on a little bike, but then back 2 to 4th on most other bikes. So yeah, really. And again, you've got to watch the walls there. You've always got to clip the wall on the way in and clip the wall on the way out to give yourself as much room as you can. But yeah, a fantastic track, one of my favourites.
Final corner, just near your house, Castletown Bridge. I mean, how many races won and lost there on the brakes? A little mistake out of Stadium. What's the ideal line through there?
Well, to be honest, again, it's a late apex, but if somebody goes tight, they usually run wide, and if you go in late, you go in wide and go tight, generally you can pass them before the line because they scrub off too much speed and run out to the curb. So they think they've got the better of you going up the inside, but you've got a smile on your face knowing that you're probably going to pass them before you get to the flag, which is a good feeling.
That's a lap round Balown with Chris Palmer. Chris, I'm going to ask you one more question. I'll let you crack on speaking to Joe and the guys are out in a bit. Newcomers ask you all sorts of questions. Yeah. Don't name the newcomer. What's the silliest question that they've asked you? Come on, and be clean.
Do you know what? I don't consider any question to be silly, because if any rider wants to know the answer to that question, there's a reason for that question.
It's in their head.
Exactly. So if you just say to them, listen, mate, this is why you do this and this is why you do that, and I think you should do that, they usually go away going, do you know what, I get that. And if it helps them, that's all that matters.
Yeah. And the very important thing you have to do is, well, after you finish the start-finish line, I seen you yesterday when I was walking up the start and finish, telling the newcomers at the end of a race, keep to the left, because that's very important here, isn't it?
It is, but there's something else that I tell them as well. When they're in the middle of a practice session, it doesn't mean everybody's going to do the whole session. If somebody's got 3 or 4 bikes and they're happy with their lap time, I get the newcomers to move across to the right, because if anybody's going to pull in, they're probably going to be on the left. But if you're slipstreaming them for a fast lap time, they might cross the finish line and then all of a sudden sit up and brake because they're coming in. And they might have done their session and be happy with their lap, but you could get caught out in that situation. So I tell them that as well, you know.
Chris, thanks for your time, and good luck with young Joe.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks,
you. Palmy, cheers. Nice to see you. Nice to speak to Chris Palmer. And I think that's a pretty descriptive lap around the 4 1/4 Balaun circuit as we have the next practice session for the Quine and Cubbon Printers 250 Classics and 125s. Of course, Quine and Cubbons do the programmes for the Southern 100, as they have done. Ricky and the guys down there for many, many years. Ricky, Cleggy and Callum do all a great job down there, and they do the ones for us at the Andreas Racing too. So Tim, hopefully, and Rob as well, let's give you a bit of food for thought. We'll head up to the holding area, try not to get run over. Back with you in a second.
Thank you very much indeed, Chris Kinley there. And really great to get Chris Palmer's rider's insight to a lap round this Colas Balaun course. And I'm not sure we agreed with a couple of the bits and thought, all right, rub your shoulder against the wall, but that's what they do, especially at Church Bends and the Castletown Corner Stadium. So Ewan Hamilton was quickest last night. Ewan Hamilton 82.080 on that little Suzuki. He's bike number 7. Second quickest was number 4, Mike Hose on the Ariel Arrow, 80.891 miles per hour. Third, Loris Hunt, number 65, on another Suzuki, another T20 at 80.156 miles per hour. Then fourth, number 12, Richard Ford. Fifth, number 5, Keith Shannon. Sixth, number 40, Barry Davidson. He's on the Team Gimbert Honda. And machines are now out on the circuit. The dummy grid has been formed and the gate opened, and they're onto the Colas Balaun course. Seventh, number 79, Mark Herbertson. Eighth was number 104, Andy Hunt. Another newcomer was 9th quickest in Russell Robury, and 10th quickest, number 107, Michael Titchmarsh. And then 11th was number 60, the painter, Billy Cummins, out on another T20. So Ewan Hamilton, 82, compared to Mike Hose at just shy of 81. Going to be interesting. I think it's going to be quicker once again. So we'll make our way out via Williams Corner and Gellings Farm there, and Balaun Cottage and Maggie's Cottage, to the man out at Cross Four Ways, Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. I think I can just hear the first engines making their way towards us down this lovely sweeping stretch of road. Just about waiting to see who's going to come into sight first. The clouds have given me a little bit of cover from what I think is going to be imminent sunburn at some point today. But I never thought I'd be thanking cloud cover, but it might just be the case for the next few minutes. It could be a bit of a necessity for me. Just waiting to hear, and we can just hear that sound. It keeps rising and rising, and just coming into view here, just making their way around Williams Corner and through Maggie's Cottage all alone just at the moment. It is number 7, Ewan Hamilton, making his way through and down through the pegs, following number 5, Keith Shannon, number 65 as well. Loris Hunt overtaken just into Cross Four Ways by number 4, Mike Hose. And here's the first of the 125s making their way through. It's the newcomer, number 17, Russell Robury, put in some good times during yesterday's session as well. He's followed by number 79, Herbertson, and then looking to go on the inside there was number 107, Michael Titchmarsh. Didn't quite manage to do so both rounds safely. 2 or 3 seconds back, here's number 104. That's Andy Hunt on that 250 Ducati Monza making his way through the Ely man all alone here. Here's number 97. So another one of those 125s making their way through. Jeff Smith on that 125 Honda as well, the man from Cleethorpes. And then just a couple more seconds back, here we go with another of the 125s with number 68, Bob Farrington on the 125 Honda in the chasing pack. 4 more just about to make their way through Maggie's Cottage of 76, 27, 85. I believe it's time to go back to you, Tim.
Thank you. First bike bang on cue comes over School Hill, and it is bike number 7 across the line. We haven't got any times yet, but it was 7 ahead of 4, 65 and 5. So that's Keith Shannon, bike number 5. 65 is Loris Hunt, and number 4 is Mike Hose, but 7 through as well. Ewan Hamilton is theirs, number 17. Russell Robury, bike number 17, the newcomer on the little 125 Honda. 107 through, that's Michael Titchmarsh, and 79 Mark Herbertson. 104, another newcomer, Andy Hunt, has crossed the start-finish line here as they go out onto their first timed lap. And yes, just a little bit of cloud cover is just taking the heat away slightly out there. There's another newcomer comes into view, number 97, that's Jeff Smith, safely across the line. Just fantastic noises. 68 is Bob Farrington. Across the line he goes. And 2 together just coming over the crest. 27 is staying to the left and slowed a little there, it seemed, but 76 got past him. 27 was Alan Smallbones. 76 Royston Phipps. 67 is Jeff Bates. 89 Lawrence Cummins is through. 85 Danny Pullen. 100 Heaven Owen. 71 Richard Boole, and 12 Richard Ford, all safely across. But Mike Hose and Ewan Hamilton were the first on the road. Let's go to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yep, we await their arrival, Tim, and almost bang on cue. Here is the first emerging from the heat haze across the tarmac, and it is, once again, number 7, Ewan Hamilton, who's given himself plenty of a gap as he makes his way through the turn, followed by number 4, Mike Hose here, a couple of seconds back, and number 65 in quick succession as well. That's Loris Hunt on the 250 Suzuki, so the trio a little more spread out. Here is Keith Shannon, number 5, a couple more seconds back as he makes his way through again. So you can see the gaps starting to develop in the front pack as they make their way forward. Once again is the first of those 125s, and it's Russell Robury, number 17, making his way through on that 125 Honda, sounding excellent as he went down through the pegs there. Following up the next pack through Maggie's Cottage, here's number 107 and 79. So that's Michael Titchmarsh, who did try and make his way through the last time he was round here and has done so early on in the lap. This time there goes through 104 Andy Hunt, one of the newcomers as well. So Titchmarsh just making up a bit of ground. It was a bit of an ambitious manoeuvre he tried last time here. Had a little bit of a look on the inside, just couldn't quite make his way through, but has done this time. Time to go back to you, Tim.
Yeah, it's a rider and machine spotted on the bridge and now coming over School Hill Rise, and it is number 7 at 83.754. There's number 4 through, that's Mike Hose. 65 is next, Loris Hunt. And the best time last night was 82.080. Well, Ewan Hamilton, 83.754 as number 5, Keith Shannon, goes through. Mike Hose is second at 82.126. Another machine interview. And that is number 17, Russell Robury, and he goes into 4th position. Third is number 65, Loris Hunt, 81.287. That's 79, Mark Herbertson, and number 107, Michael Titchmarsh, and that's 104, Andy Hunt. So 4th, 17, Russell Robury, 77.096. 5th is number 5, Keith Shannon, at 77.059. 6th is number 79, Mark Herbertson, at 76.539. Seventh is the newcomer Andy Hunt, 104 the number on the bike, 76.213 as 97 goes through. That is Jeff Smith. Sounds of yesteryear. There's number 68 through, Bob Farrington, and 97 Jeff Smith was before that. So Andy Hunt in 7th, 8th is 107 Michael Titchmarsh, 9th is number 68 Bob Farrington, and 10th of those through. We just had the 10 through, but it's 2 together here. 12 gets the move and goes into 4th. Richard Ford up to 4th. Let's go to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
Great timing as ever, Tim, and just can see him making his way through Maggie's Cottage now. Here is number 7, Ewan Hamilton, but just closing up the gap a little bit. Number 4, Mike Hose on the aerial arrow, and then a couple of seconds back there, number 65, Loris Hunt on the 250 Suzuki. That gap just closing up a little bit more now, making their way through Cross Four Ways this time around. So who knows, we could see Mike Hose just closing the gap a little bit on Ewan Hamilton, who's had plenty of fresh tarmac to make his way into throughout this session so far. A little bit further back now, making his way through is number 5, and that is Keith Shannon through, no problem at all, no traffic to worry about for him as he makes his way forward. And then barrelling in, picking up a bit more pace this time is the first of the 125s. Once again, it's Russell Robery, number 17, with that orange bib still on his back. Certainly not holding him back, carrying plenty of pace through there this time around once again. And it's changed over here again. Number 79, Mark Herbertson, has got himself ahead of number 107, Michael Titchmarsh. So those two have been trading spots on the circuit in the last lap or two. And then around 4 seconds behind them, number 104. And it's time to go back to you, Tim.
Yes, just had one of the lower order runners through, 85 Danny Pullen, but leg out indicating that they're pulling in is Ewan Hamilton. And he remains top of the pile, but Mike Hose has closed the gap, as has Loris Hunt on that last lap. It is Ewan Hamilton, 83.754 miles per hour. Bike number 7 that leads ahead of machine number 4, Mike Hose, 82.508 miles per hour. In third, number 65, Loris Hunt at 82.010. Then there's quite a drop down in the mile per hour speeds as number 17 through. And 17 has in fact gone very conveniently into 4th place, which is where we've got to on the leaderboard. 17 is Russell Robery, and he is 77.403 miles per hour. As Mark Herbertson and Michael Titchmarsh go through. And that is number 104, Andy Hunt. And he is on that Ducati, that much deeper throated sound as it went through. So 5th is number 12, Richard Ford. 6th, number 5, Keith Shannon. 7th, number 79, Mark Herbertson. 8th, number 104, Andy Hunt. 9th, number 107, Michael Titchmarsh. 10th, number 15, Bob Doughty. 11th, number 100, Heaven Owen. 12th, number 68, Bob Farrington. 13th is number 97, Jeff Smith. 97 just going through, and he's moved up in fact to 11th position. Well done to the newcomer Jeff Smith. It's Hose from Hunt. Hose I think was coming in though. Let's go to Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, you can probably just hear the singing engine there of number 15, Bob Doughty, on the 247 Suzuki there as he makes his way back through with plenty of time to himself, and just making their way through Maggie's Cottage here. Here is number 65, and that is Loris Hunt making his way down into that right turn, and then he'll be roaring off towards Church Bends with no one around him at the moment. Plenty of empty tarmac just in front of me at the moment, looking down that visual line past Maggie's Cottage up to Williams Corner as well. Just waiting to see the next ones emerge, really. Does Ewan Hamilton think it's job done? But we'll wait to see what the deal is as we wait for the next set of machines to make their way through here. Things just going quiet for a moment here over on Cross Four Ways, and emerging, I think I can just about see, yes it is, the distinctive orange bib around the shoulders of number 17, Russell Robery. Good display from him so far over on that 125 as it stands, and things spreading out just a tiny bit more. The next through, who is this? Mark Herbertson, number 79. He's got quite himself a gap gap next to the one behind him, number 107, Michael Titchmarsh. Bit of a gap opening up between those two as well, and then 104 the next through here after a few seconds. Time to go back to you, Tim.
And across the line is number 65, Loris Hunt, but he hasn't gone quicker than he did on lap 3. As the checkered flag is still not out here at the start-finish line on the Castletown bypass, so more lappage is available to these riders. But Mike Hose was clearly indicating at the end of lap 3 that he was pulling in, and that time at the top of the leaderboard at the moment for him of 82.508 miles per hour. Loris Hunt, number 65, is at 82.010, and Ewan Hamilton, number 7, was a retirement, as well as number 4, Mike Hose. They've gone into the pits. So fourth is number 12, Richard Ford, as the checkered flag is now out. And that is 79, Mark Herbertson. He's up into 5th position. That's 107, Michael Titchmarsh through. Just beautiful sounds. He's provisionally in 9th at the moment on this afternoon's timings, which of course will be combined with yesterday evening's, but certainly the feel and the temperature is certainly that this afternoon's times are considerably quicker than they were last night. It got colder and colder last night. It was pretty chilly by the end of that practice session. Even in the commentary box here, never mind being where Rob and Chris are out in what was cold air last night. 104, Andy Hunt. He also has finished, as has number 12, Richard Ford, who's moved up into 4th position with a lap there of 79.922 miles per hour. Jeff Smith currently showing as in 11th place, number 97, the newcomer. That's 68, Bob Farrington, just completing his 4th lap. His quickest time, as he's in 13th position, was in lap 2 at 72.661 miles per hour. So it is number 4, Mike Hose, who's quickest at 82.508 miles per hour. Second, number 65, Loris Hunt at 82.010 miles per hour. Third, number 7, Ewan Hamilton at 81.933 miles per hour. Another bike coming into view and acknowledging the checkered flag and just indicating that he's slowing down. Very gentlemanly indeed from number 89, Lawrence Cummin. He has done, even though was just touring across the line at the end, but was quickest, 71.579. So must have all come together as he went around that lap. 27, Alan Smallbones just finishing now, as is number 76, Royston Phipps. So Richard Ford is in 4th position. 5th is 79, Mark Herbertson. Loris Hunt has got another lap in. Doesn't change, though, the top of the leaderboard. He remains in 2nd. So it's 4, Mike Hose on pole. 2nd is number 65, Loris Hunt. 3rd, number 7, Ewan Hamilton. 4th, number 12, Richard Ford. 5th, number 79, Mark Herbertson. 6th, number 17, and that's Russell Robery. 17 is the bike number there. 7th is number 5, Keith Shannon. Big disappointment earlier with that, not going to be racing out in the singles race and not able to now claim a 5th victory on the spin in the 250 class, unfortunately, due to a breakdown in practice yesterday. 8th, number 104, Andy Hunt. 9th, number 107, Michael Titchmarsh. 10th, number 15, Bob Doughty. Going well indeed. 11th, number 97, Jess Smith. 12th is number 100, Heaven Owen. 13th is number 68, Bob Farrington. 14th, number 67, Jeffrey Bates. 15th, number 89, Lawrence Cummins. 16th is number 76, Royston Phipps. 17th is number 27, Alan Smallbones. 18th is number 71, Richard Boole. 19th is number 85, Danny Pullen. And 20th is number 101, Roger Jones. And that is the order. Mike Hose takes the pole 3 minutes 5.437 seconds compared to Loris Hunt's lap time. Best of 3 minutes 6.562 seconds. So just over a second between Hose and Hunt at the sharp end of the leaderboard. And Ewan Hamilton, well, he's only a smidge behind Hunt there at 3 minutes 6.739 seconds. So everybody just taking advantage of a little bit of a breather and soaking up the atmosphere. And a good crowd we had last night, and there's a good crowd again lined along the bypass, and I'm sure there'll be even more here this evening. And just bring an extra layer, I would suggest, this evening, and come and enjoy the first 3 races back on the Isle of Man for 3 years on the road. So number 67 just following the course car, inspection car there. 67, of course, is Jeff Bates, and that very distinctive greeny blue coloured bike fairing that he always has. Flag's just beginning to stir a little bit more, as I think that northwesterly wind just starts to pick up as per the forecast, and the EasyJet departure just going overhead from Ronaldsway. You can hear that whine of the jet going over. So let's just head down to Chris Kinley if we can, and just see what the latest is down there. Wherever you are, Mr. Kinley.